Hey, what's up, guys? This is Real Life Solutions with Uncle T. What happens to kids when they mature and they reach the age of 18 in the foster care system? What happens to those kids? And I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people out there who wonder, who have had their kids taken away, who have had their children lost to the system, who have had their rights taken away, who have never saw their kids ever again, who may have only seen their children when they were babies and have no idea where their kids are. And so many people probably at this point is wondering, where are my children? Either your children were adopted by someone, or your children are in the system, or they maxed out of the system. Let's say if your kids were taken away when they were babies, they wouldn't have no remembrance of you unless they were searching for you or trying to find you through maybe DNA, or trying to find, Ancestry.com or something. Hopefully that you're trying to find a match or find your family or something of that nature. Most people have no idea what happens to these kids once they turn 18. A lot of times that people don't understand that when these kids turn 18, they're done. And what is the ugly truth about when these kids turn 18? It sounds like a great program. You know, we protecting kids and they're being abused. We're getting them out of the home. The state is taking care of them. And, we're getting them to safety. Hopefully we get them a better life or a better lifestyle. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. There are some ugly truths and an ugly side to this whole thing that people, they just don't know. If you've never been in the system, or if you don't know about the system, you don't know about it. It's like the prison system. If you've never been to prison, you've never been to jail, you don't know what to expect. So if you've been in there one time or two times, then you know what to expect. You know how the system works. One of the complaints is the reason, well, I'm gonna just say this. One of the complaints that kids had once they get out of the system, and even the foster care parents who had problems, we find that a lot of foster care parents have a lot of issues with the system and with agencies, guardian ad litems, social workers. Me, myself, was a foster parent for a long time. I have children. I had a guardian ad litem who was prejudiced, who tried to keep a man from getting his children because she said he looks like a playboy. The guy was a good-looking guy, real sharp, cool-looking guy. I met the guy. She said that he thought he was a playboy and he didn't deserve those kids. She had nothing else to give a reason why he shouldn't have gotten his children, that he just looked like a playboy. These are the type of people you have in the system. This was a guardian ad litem here in North Carolina, in Wake County. This person took it upon herself to just project her own personal opinion. And there's no telling what she wrote on her notes and what she submitted to the social worker and submitted to the courts. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what these people are doing. People didn't want to foster. Most of the people here didn't want to foster children because of the training and communication, right? And the lack of respect towards the parents from foster workers, because they wanted you to watch the kids. We're the professionals. We ask you questions. You give us input. We go to court and we tell the judge what we need to let the judge know. So basically, you're just a glorified babysitter and you just watch these kids. The average length of time a foster family remains in the foster care system is usually 2 to 3 years. Now, a child could be in foster care in the foster system 9 to 12 months based on the parent or whatnot having to get themselves together for its classes, parenting classes, whatever they need to do, right? Whatever they need to do to get themselves together. It may take 9 to 12 months. It could take 2 years. It could take a year. Some people have learned to take classes, slack up, don't show up for court, come up with excuses why they couldn't show up. Then they postpone things, and this goes on and on and on. Now, also, number 2, that the foster children are often considered abandoned out of the system because they reached the legal age to leave foster care. 18 years old, they are authorized to leave foster care. They are frequently left without adequate support, housing, or financial resources. It's like once 18, you are like kicked out of the house, literally kicked out of the house. okay, leading to a high risk of homelessness, instability. You have people selling themselves or become a side chick for somebody. Some struggle with mental health issues, so much trauma that they've been through and they faced in their early life, or whatever they went through with their families. One of the reasons why they feel abandoned is because of loss of, they don't have any long-term planning. The system does not prepare them for long-term planning. If you got a teenager who's 15 years old, this teenager got 3 years to get ready to get out of the system. There is no training. There is nothing that says, hey, it doesn't look like you're going to be adopted, but we need to start getting you into some classes, helping you prepare yourself, getting some life skills. You need to start thinking about college. You need to start getting you need to get your grades. You need to get yourself together, basically, because you're going to be on your own. They have no focus on reunification with the biological parents, and the children are not prepared for independent living. They're not prepared for it. They're not going to, if they figure if the biological parents hadn't reached out and trying to get the kids, trying to see if an uncle or an aunt or a cousin would take over the children. If that didn't happen, they're like, well, we're not going to try to track down nobody for their kids. If they want the kids, they know where to come see us. So we'll tell them, if you want to try to get your niece's children or your cousin's children, and you don't want them to be in the system, then you would come to us. We're not going to reach out to you. So they also had inadequate mental health support, that many children with significant trauma and mental health issues didn't get the help. Once they got out of the system, you're on your own, baby. You're on your own. It's just like being like an inmate. It's like if you got an inmate who's locked up, he's got mental health issues, they give him a 30-day supply of medication. Once that medication runs out, you're on your own, buddy. I hope you get a doctor, get a job, get you some insurance so you can keep up your medicine. These are the challenges that some of these kids deal with once they reach 18 and they are out of the system. There is no more medication. There is no more nothing unless they get pregnant, get on Medicaid, or get on something, or try to get Section 8 housing, or try to do something of that nature. They just basically have mental health issues, and these kids are walking on the street homeless. They have limited access to jobs, limited access to job training, education. They lack the necessary educational, vocational skills to get employment. You see a lot of these kids giving plasma just to try to make some money every week. Give plasma 2 times a week so they can have some type of income coming in so they can eat. A lot of them stay in shelters. A lot of them are homeless. They may bunk out with somebody or bunk with somebody who has a vehicle, and they all sleep in one car. There's just so much stuff that's going on. This is what happens when these kids turn 18 years old. Frequent placement changes. Once a child comes into your home and the child's in your house, and let's say you say, this is not going to work, this placement is not going to work, I can't deal with this child is off the chain, they are off the hook, they are just unruly, I can't have them to be disruptive in my house like that because I have other children. They hate moving a child. I know somebody a child was a gangbanger, he was a Crip. They put the child with another foster parent who in a neighborhood where there were Bloods. So now this kid's got to ride a school bus with Bloods, and he's a Crip. Y'all know that ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna work. That's gonna be problems. But they don't understand the gang life. They don't understand how that works. And some of their idea was, well, you just have to learn to get along with people. You just have to learn to walk away from the gangs. Come on now. They don't know. It don't work like that. A lot of the stereotypes about, foster children make it difficult to access opportunities and support. But I want to give you something that Kathy Chun, who was the THO editor-in-chief, I'm going to quote something to you, on 10/10/2020, states, on paper, foster care system is a picture-perfect system. A neglected child is lifted up from a broken home plagued by abuse and mistreatment, to then be placed in a warm, welcoming environment with safety and stability. In reality, this perfect cloak disguises disastrous failures that leave children vulnerable and defenseless. They found statistically of child abuse and neglect for black families and lower in proportion than that of white families. Black children represented 14% of the total child population. They made up 23% of the total child population. She said in comparison to white children, who represent 50% of the total child population, make up only 44% of the foster care population. Within the year of foster kids being forced out of the system, 39% are homeless, 46% of boys, and 22% of girls will end up in the criminal justice system, either in jail or in prison. More than one half of all abandoned teens will suffer mental health issues. 22% of the girls will be pregnant and become someone else's side chick. This is the ugly truth, y'all, of what happens to kids in the foster care system once they reach the age of 18. And I've been saying this is not just in one state, y'all. This is everywhere. California, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina. It's everywhere. And I've even heard, now this is just alleged, I have heard that the system, that you got some workers who deliberately take children from their homes over simple little stuff just to keep the system full of children so that the county can keep getting federal funding from the government to keep that money rolling. The more kids you got, the more money you get. That's wicked, man. That is wicked. I have heard that. That is wicked, and evil. Just like always, I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you, real life. This is real life stuff, real life solutions with Uncle T. This is real stuff, y'all. And I want you to comment. I love to hear from you. Y'all know I love you. You're right there in my heart. I thank you for your support. Until we meet again, Uncle T is out.